but she can't damage you.
Yeah. You're just like
That's the whole point. You're not trying to kill her. You're just trying to, annoy her.
actually, all you do is rush a Thornmail, and people are like, "Oh yeah, rushing a Thornmail is a really bad idea." But on Tarek, because he scales so hardcore with armor, it's just like, okay, cool, do your worst. You're killing yourself.
I still might get heart first.
Yeah.
I like I like getting a Frozen Heart and then going into a Thornmail on
Okay, we should stop talking about Tarek so Frown doesn't get any ideas here, because we're live now. This is Bronze Boot Camp here this Saturday morning, the Saturday of Battle Arena SmackDown Edition, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in for that. It's going to be some awesome ownage, as SEAL Team pointed out in chat. What Bronze Boot Camp is, it's a game mode designed by the Trinity Force podcast in order to help you improve in your game. These guys play, we comment, and then everyone is able to go back and watch the game via YouTube or on Twitch VODs and see, what we were talking about so you can improve in your own play. So, if you do or don't know about the Trinity Force podcast, you can check us out over at www.trinityforcepodcast.com. We have all our different podcasts there. We have 4 different podcasts right now, guys. There's the Proper, there's the Oz LOL, there's the LCS Rundown, and now the Four Awards podcast. All there for, different reasons, but all there for League. So if there's anything you like about League at all, whether it's the competitive side, analysis, learning more about the game, whatever, we're going to be there for you guys. And we got basically 5 hours of entertainment every week with all the podcasts we got. It's crazy. So, let's talk about picks and bans here for this game.
Katarina and Zed are kind of awk. Zed's really awk. Like, I don't know.
Sorry.
His win rate isn't crazy, and I don't expect anyone in Bronze to be able to play Zed well.
I forgot to mention, guys, there are 3 rules to Bronze Bootcamp and Battle Arena. Number 1 is no team speak. 2, if you see someone toxic, please take a screenshot so we can deal with that and ban people from further games. And 3, always have fun. So just quick heads up. No, the voice COD is the big thing. We don't normally run into toxicity, but if you do, please report it.
Yeah, this is a place to learn. Like, toxicity, and don't play anything really, really troll. Everyone's here to improve, and if you play
Tarek mid,
Dr. Mundo 80 carry,
hey, it's great against Zed. It's great against Zed.
Well, Zed's banned, so we don't have to worry about that.
Well, Talon isn't.
Well, hopefully no Tark.
You never know with Frown, so we'll see. I like the Katarina ban. I hate her so much right now with the new item.
I agree, but I will say that she's a lot weaker in the laning phase. Like, at this point, she can't do what she used to do, which was, I'm just going to Q Shumpo onto you and then W, burst you and walk away. And now you can really punish her for it. The issue, though, is that in solo queue especially, she can still just get out of control. If she just roams once, it's done. Your laning phase is screwed over.
Oh, yeah.
most good mid laners do that on other champions. It's just like Katarina kind of pseudo forces you to roam. But if you roam on Lissandra, you'll get out of control too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super exclusive to Katarina, in my opinion.
Okay, so guys, if you're wondering how can you be a part of Bronze Bootcamp, there's also a sign-up sheet on TrinityForcePodcast.com right up on the top. You can sign up. We have that going every week. And if you sign up for Bronze Bootcamp, either game 1, 2, or 3, we will get you in. If you didn't have a chance to sign up, also we take open enrollments. Just join the in-game chat channel T-Force, and we'll let you know when we get another game starting.
Horace, what's your opinion on top Zach?
Well, I think it's decent. I think if it's awkward early, if you can play in a lane where you can farm without dying, it's good. Like, Zac with items is scary, and it's not fun to play against if you're an AD carry.
Yeah, the biggest issue is his early game. Like, your health pool isn't large enough to really make use of that passive, especially when you're being harassed down by a Cho or a Lissandra.
As far as picks go, too, like, you don't want to be too cocky about first picking a mid or a top. But if you play something like Cassandra, it's not a huge deal. Because if they go too hard on counter picking you, you can just kind of switch or do whatever.
Yeah, there are a few safe picks. Top lane, I want to say it's probably Hecarim, Lysandra, Scion, Nasus, if you know how to play Nasus well,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
and the tree. The Maokai will always be safe.
Yeah, Maokai can't help but be safe.
Even if you lose on Maokai, you just like buy Righteous Glory and you press W on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with Scion though. It's like I like okay, cool. You're pushed out of lane. You just teleport back and you're full health and you're tanky again. Like Scion is probably the safest lane in my opinion, next to like Lysandra and Maokai.
Yeah. You know, it's weird. What this week for Battle Arena, we saw 2 Vaynes, and we're seeing more Vayne now. I don't know why.
The tank
think
meta
they
is
just-
coming back. The tank
I
meta.
think they just want to play Vayne. I think even when
I
tanks
still
are back,
yeah.
I think Vayne kind of stinks.
Vayne is really dependent. She's like Lee Sin. You know, you really need to know how to play her well for her to be effective. Because yeah, she scales well in the late game, but even then, she still has that crap range.
The thing is like a lot of people are bringing out Vayne again because the tank meta is becoming so prominent now
No, I
because
agree
of
with
Cinderhulk.
that.
But the issue with Vayne is the fact that supports right now either they're champions like Leona where they're really CC heavy with an early game burst. That at level 2, people really underestimate her burst, especially her passive, which is at level 1 it's 20 bonus magic damage. I'm pretty sure it scales every level. But there are champions like Annie, Blitz, like just champions are really strong in the meta right now that obliterate Vayne. And in lane, you have nothing. You have no choice but to farm under tower, and even then, Annie can still flash tibbers you into oblivion.
Vayne's like, even though she's good against tanks, you have to be good at Vayne. Like,
Mhm.
if she's good against tanks and you tumble into the tanks, like, it doesn't matter that you're doing percentage health damage to them.
You're gonna die. Yeah.
Especially versus a Hecarim as well. You need to be really
Yeah.
skilled in order to dodge all those skill shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we're in a tank meta, but the tank meta is defined by initiation, not by, so much just crowd control reduction. It's really about diving to the back line. So, with the Hecarim, it's not like a Mundo is being picked all that often.
Mm-hmm. He's super early.
But at least they have a Shen to protect the Vayne if she does get
Yeah.
outpicked.
So, we're just in the delay right now. So why don't we do a rundown of the lanes?
Bot lane's super weak for blue team. Vayne Leona's weak. Jungle's weak. Shen. But they have strong solos. So, like, they really need to hope solos win early.
See, I don't know if bot lane pre-6, I agree they're weak, but it depends if they hit 6 around the same time and even a little bit before. That's going to be a really good chance for them to capitalize.
Jinx has to misplay. If Jinx doesn't misplay, they can't. If Jinx misplays, they can.
Yeah, like I've run into this lane before actually, and if it's a really coordinated Leona and Vayne, anytime you're near a wall, no matter whether you're the ADC or the support, you're going to get CC locked in until you're dead,
Yeah.
and there is no escape.
Oh my
It's
God.
just a misplay on the Jinx's part, though. Like, that's why I say that. The Jinx really has to do something silly. Cause,
Yeah, but wait, go ahead.
no, because, like, if Jinx has Flash, she can deal with it. And she doesn't have Flash, and she plays, like, in a spot where she gets Leona ulted, that's kind of a misplay. But,
So,
Yeah.
positioning is going to be a big thing for Jinx.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, Jinx should hit level 6 first, because she should be able to bully out the Vayne early.
Yeah,
It's
if
like
they're
every Vayne.
level 1, honestly, they really need to play very aggressive. Same thing with Thresh.
it's like every Vayne lane. Like, you get a lead, and Vayne can come back if she cheeses you, but it's your job to, like, take that lead and not let Vayne cheese you.
Okay, so why don't we move on to another lane here? Top lane?
Hecarim
and
top is-
Hecarim?
Hacker on top is really weak early. You, like, rush home guards and mobility. Home guards and, like, tier 2 boots, and then you just kind of try and do something in the mid game.
I
Yeah.
personally don't like Hecarim top. I feel like it's really weak against like
Oh.
top lane tanks because it's like you are both literally doing nothing but trying to farm. Except as Hecarim, you're going to most likely be pushing the wave into the enemy turret.
Well, what makes Hecarim top really good is that you don't really have to win your laning phase. Once you get your home guard on your boots, you can start roaming around and get free level 6 ganks with your ultimate.
And he can solo kill an AD carry, and it's not reasonable.
Mm-hmm. He can get back to lane really easy, push it out, and then go roam it to another lane. That's what makes Hecarim top really solid right now.
So yeah, that's something you have to realize here in like the lower elos. It's not about your own lane. It's about affecting the team for Hecarim. Yeah. Okay. Mid lane then we have Lissandra and Victor.
This is gonna be a really
Victor
rough
should
lane for
Victor should bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Victor doesn't ward up and respect ganks, Lissandra can come back. Because Lissandra has a lot of gank assist, and like if Shen comes in and can get a taunt off, like through wards or through lack of wards, Lissandra can come back. But if Victor wards responsibly, like there's no way Lissandra should win this lane.
There we go. Sorry,
It's
I
a lot
already
of-
got overlay set up for SmackDown.
Yeah, if you're playing a no escape mid against another mid plus CC, like even if he wasn't playing Lissandra, if it was like Victor versus Annie, like if you don't ward, Annie just comes back in that lane if she gets a gank. Because if Annie's jungler comes, even if you have flash, you probably die if the Annie doesn't misplay it. Or just if you're playing CC and damage, you need to ward,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you have no escape.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the edge here to red team because they have 3 skins.
Oh,
Very important. You know, but so play styles. What are the teams really? What is each team looking to do? You know, as far as early mid game.
Right now, basically, red side wants to capitalize on their early game. Almost, other than Hecarim top, everyone else has the advantage early game. Bot lane and mid should be able to easily push out their laners because not only does Victor like out harass Lissandra early on, but she really shouldn't be able to have trade potential because his empowered auto should be able to out trade her in a 1v1 no minion scenario, while his AoE should be able to clear more efficiently than her wave clear. Lissandra has a problem wave clearing without using too much mana until generally her Rylai's. Not Rylai's, her Zhonya's.
Okay.
While Victor just needs his augment.
Yeah, blue team just really needs to play safe and wait for Vayne to get to that major 6-item power spike because their team comp is really protect the Vayne right now.
6-item power spike. I wish I could
6-item
wait for that.
Yeah, like well, that's a little long to be waiting.
I think Jinx is stronger at 6 items than Vayne is. Like in all honesty.
Probably, as far as like a team fight goes, she'll output more damage.
Mm.
Single
Yeah.
target Vayne would win, but in a team fight scenario, yeah.
Especially 6 items, like Jinx's QSS. And when Jinx's QSS, unless she like gets Shen taunted, I don't really see a way to kill her.
This Lissandra.
It's all gonna be about positioning.
Or the QSS is for Lissandra. That's why
Like-
she
Oh,
would
they
get
can
it.
still. Oh, okay.
Like mid lane, especially, is gonna be a battle of position. Whoever gets the right position and is able to harass effectively is gonna win that lane.
I'll
Generally
make a-
speaking.
A note, like, and sometimes in solo queue you'll get like a Shen jungle or a Teemo jungle. I hate to compare the two, but if you get a jungle that's really bad early game, you need to respect that, like in your lane.
That you're not going to be getting like the assistance.
Yeah, don't like die 1v1 and complain that you didn't get a gank or something. I think Vayne just killed herself.
Wow.
That was a risky play.
What?
Red team,
Yeah, red team really should have capitalized on that. Like,
Yeah,
she-
Yeah,
she
that was
Vayne was really out
really
of position.
like that was just a dumb thing to do to go that deep.
Also, Victor, make sure you get a trinket as well.
yeah, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say it every game. Stop skilling so early, please. Thank you for not doing it, Thresh. I'm gonna give you a gold star.
I mean, at that point, he could have skilled and tried to get on Vayne.
Yeah, no. He could have skilled and got on Vayne, but a lot of people just skill at like 45 seconds with
Yeah,
the YOLO.
I agree.
Like Cho had W. Like if something would have broken out there and he didn't have rupture, it's kind of.
Yeah, like if Vayne would have had, not Vayne, if Jinx would have had Chompers right there and they collapsed on that Vayne, it would have been over.
Both junglers starting where I assume they start.
I mean, like honestly, if you blow a flash or a summoner early game, it's not a huge deal because it's usually up again by the time you'll need it.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Yeah,
they-
it's up again
you
before
blow it at
6.
1 minute, it'll be back up at 6 minutes for your
The only time it's like early flash is really crucial is when they have a Leona, which it's on the enemy team, so that would be irrelevant, or when they have a blitz. But bot lane, any early flashes burned like at level 1 generally don't matter.
So for
Yeah, when you play against Leona, don't let her get too
Yeah.
first.
So Cho'Gath, you don't want to start like your Feral Scream first. Usually the normal start is your Void Spikes.
Yeah.
They'll help you sustain and push the lane a little bit better.
You get confident in tower CS too. Like, I see people do this sometimes. Losing 20% of your health to like face tank it in front of the tower is not good. Like, that's just how you lose the lane because you can't tower CS.
You just get zoned at that point. Also, the reason why you also want to go E on Cho'Gath first is because
You're
it
playing
lets you
aggro.
harass without without having to pull minion aggro.
Yeah, it is a spell. Spells interact differently than auto attacks with creeps.
Yeah, it's like Rumble Q.
I'll say a note on Lissandra. You're using a lot of your spells to CS. I think you could actually be winning this lane, given how the Victor's playing.
I
But,
will say though, is Victor's beating her in position. If you notice, he kind of steers away from her because he knows he has the range advantage.
Yeah, it's just like right there, like what she just did. When you use your spell to CS, Victor can just walk up to you and laser because he doesn't have to be scared of anything.
I would like to say that like Jinx and Thresh really need to be playing more aggressively toward that vein.
Like they
Like-
hit the level 2 power spike way before the other lane did, and they really didn't try to pressure that at all.
Yeah, they really they really need to be doing the whole 3 on Pow Pow and then switching to Rocket to harass.
Yeah, I mean, like level 2 with Thresh and Jinx can be really powerful if you get your Flame Chompers second, which honestly you should be doing. Just to try to combo the CC. If Thresh lands a hook, you have an instant way to tie them down for your Flame Chompers.
I actually think the Jinx is playing pretty for BBC. She's playing aggressive. Like, I like what she's doing in the lane. Dash isn't auto attacking them or anything when they step up though.
Anytime like Vayne goes to an auto minion, you should be trying to auto her as well.
Even Leona, just if they're in auto range auto.
Yep.
If Vayne steps up to hit you, like, just rely on the fact that Jinx is probably gonna hit her.
What's you guys' take on the Chilling Smite on Zac? I personally disagree with it, but
Every Zac I see does it. 100%. Even when I played Odd One when he was playing Zac, he did it. Like, I don't play Zac, but I can respect the fact that they're all doing it.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, like you're already using your slingshot to get in range, but it also keeps them in range for your ultimate.
I just think Scrimmage is just kind of silly on Zac, and I don't really think he needs the help from Trailblazer. So he's kind of get it by default. Like, I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's better than everything else.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
There, she's able to walk up close to Van. He's slowly find the follow. Yeah, it's like if you're playing Blitz. If you're in Power Fist range, Kargan's is saying this in chat, or if you're playing Thresh and you're in Flay range, like lead with the skill you know you're gonna hit.
Yep.
You can also, if you get really good at animation canceling and know what spells go in what order and stuff, you can thread autos in there, but that's kind of... I don't know. Like, auto attacking on support doesn't seem like a lot of damage, but if you look at Thresh's AD, it's like 70, and Vayne has 800 health. Like, 10 autos with armor is like 75% of her health.
and you also have to remember is a Leona as strange as it sounds, she's the tank support that you want to get down because that basically means that her all-in potential is almost 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jinx, whenever you hear that wind-up sound from Thresh's hook, you need to be putting down your Flame Chompers right then so they're armed in time. Because that last time you did, they were way too late, obviously, because it didn't connect.
They're only 15 mana. Yeah, I was gonna say, if they're like 100 mana, I might be cautious, because if he misses, you lose your mana pool.
Mm-hmm.
But 50's not too bad. Yeah, Jinx, like, this is, you're bullying Vayne, but if you don't get CS lead, it's not gonna mean anything soon.
Ooh, oh, this is, yeah. Nice playing Chomper.
Oh wow, the
Nice hook.
Dish may have killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have completely disengaged at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, Shane killed himself too, though.
Like right here, Jinx shouldn't be switching targets so much. She could have gotten Vayne or Leona if she wouldn't have swapped in between them.
Her W's up.
There we go.
Called it. Kobe. Alright.
Alright. Yeah, so in that situation, Thresh, I think what you would have wanted to do was use your Flay to knock them away instead of towards you.
That was a good flash on the Cho'Gath part. Forcing Hecarim to go even deeper and dodging his ult.
Hecarim just should have backed after Cho'Gath flash there. There's no reason to be greedy there.
One thing I want to emphasize is that getting kills sometimes is worth less than actually just sitting back and taking the farm and pushing your lane into their turret.
That was worth more because the wave was at Cho's tower and Cho lost a lot of CS. That was a good play. He kind of played it awkwardly. He may not have had to do it, but if you're going to trade kills at top lane, do it when their wave is under tower.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this now because I'm not sure. This may be the same person that played Cho'Gath in Battle Arena. Please.
Oh, is he not stacking again?
Yeah. Please be stacking.
Oh.
And he's only just level 6, so I mean, it may have just been he was saving it for the engage on Hecarim.
Yeah, Cho's in trouble. If you fall behind to Hecarim early, it's really hard to come back.
So now just start using. There you go. Yay. Yeah, you need to be using stacks like all the time. Oh, that was just really aggressive.
Yeah, red team was way too close to their turret, and Leo couldn't follow up on that either.
Yeah.
So I will just wait for the wave to go when it's closer to your tower, and then engage.
I'll take note. The Victor's got a solo kill, and I'm gonna give out another gold star here. Look at the vision on mid. Like I said before this game, Victor could like lose lane if he got ganked because of the gank assist from Lissandra. He's not gonna get ganked with this ward setup. He did a good job.
The other thing is he's just beating out Lissandra in positioning. He's really abusing that range on his laser. She has gotten off Q harass on him, and that's his own like misplays and getting out of position. But overall, like he's just been able to out-trade Lissandra without her even being able to touch him.
Yeah, when you play mid and you get the pinks up and the wards up and you beat somebody, like they're in the Thunderdome, their jungler can't help them with those wards. Like Lissandra's got to do something for Lissandra. I will say Victor needs to concentrate on trying to hit the CS if he can. He just missed cannon again.
I will say Frown got really greedy on that pink right there.
Yeah. Wow. Deleted.
Okay. So at this point, I think Vayne, you needed to be changing your playstyle. Because
Yeah,
you're
don't
playing
tumble
against
forward.
you're playing against a 4-0 Jinx at this point, who has the BF sword advantage.
I will say that Vayne can actually 1v1 the Jinx if she gets off a good condemn. And
Yeah, and if she doesn't get chompers.
And
Yeah,
that's a lot
like-
of ifs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Problem.
Because that Vayne's just that type of AD carry where her AD steroid can actually carry her in a 1v1 as long as she can get someone locked down.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to knowing how to play Vayne, which is a problem.
Yeah, but as of right now,
I
Jinx
would
is way
say
too
too
ahead.
with Tron.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd try to rely more on your support. Just stay close to your support and just try not to die for now.
Yeah, a skill that's really underrated in solo queue is I see a lot of people are decent players, they have decent mechanics or blah blah blah. Like when you do bad, I see people do some ridiculous stuff. Like learning to play from behind is really important.
Yeah.
Really important. Oh, that was good. Good to see. Victor's gonna die.
Like you have to know at what point you have to say, you know what, carry me.
Yeah.
That's the biggest lesson you need to learn. instead of I need to make the big plays.
Or even if you like aren't letting people carry you, that's not the mentality you want to go into it. Every time you die, your teammates have to play against 300 more gold. Like, just try not to die. It seems like silly, but
No, Vayne needs to really back off right.
yeah.
God, this top lane matchup is.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
When Hecarim's ult comes up, he should just kill Cho'Gath.
Mm-hmm.
It'll come up when this wave comes up, and Cho will probably be like 600, maybe not.
Yeah, you got that
He got-
regen.
Yeah, he got the regen and he got his passive.
I like the Sightstone on Shin. I build Sightstone on most, or like half my jungles now.
The flash on the Lissandra early really.
Oh,
That's a good
that-
channel.
That could have gone a lot worse, but
Executed.
Yeah, Jinx didn't need to die there.
like
Yeah,
if
so there's-
Lissandra would have actually used her claw first, she most likely could have gone out without bursting her flash or forcing a few more flashes from the enemy team.
I like the pink from blue. Gold star number 3.
What do you guys think of Skirmisher Saber on Shen? I don't personally agree with it.
what would you have instead?
What's the one that AoE's clears?
Yeah,
that's-
Trailblazer.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, I would personally pick that one because of Shen's wave clear. I mean, jungle clear is not the greatest
I
compared
think
to
if you get a
Zax's.
really good early game skirmishers, because you'll have the items to clear and you won't need the help. I think if your early game isn't like 1-0-1 or 2-0 or something, Trailblazer. That's what I do in Rengar. If my early game's not like 2-0-2 or something, I just get Chilling Smite. I mean Trailblazer instead of Chilling.
Okay.
But like if I have the long swords, I don't need the Trailblazer as much, if that makes sense. Good rotation mid from red team. That's what you want to do. If you play Jinx Arcade or something and your team's winning, like when bot falls, you just take mid.
I will say though that Zach has been really reactive to like
Nice threat.
Shen's positioning, and he's always been there whenever Shen. Well, he's mostly been there whenever Shen's top lane trying to take a ward or trying to do something for Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I actually think the wards from red team have been pretty good. I'd like to see more, but like the placement on them's good, and the fact that they've been up a lot. Blue team's botting a lot, but I don't see a lot on the map. I just see them sitting in bags, which isn't good. As far as blue team is concerned, like what they need to do to come back is, actually they have pretty awkward wave clear. I would say almost wait for them to overextend on a siege and try and turn with Leona ult, or like try and 5v5 a dragon.
Yeah,
Because you still have like Leona, Lissandra, Vayne. Your 5v5's okay.
at this point, blue team needs to catch them out in the jungle or somewhere where they can honestly just land AoE. Because if they can land a Leona ult on top of a Lissandra Cho'Gath knockup, it can yeah like that, and this might turn out very well for them.
That's
The main
exactly. Oh, okay.
the main
There's the teleport.
yeah, the main issue is that one Vayne wasn't there to clean
Oh,
it.
oh wow, no. Shroomy, stop.
Alright,
Yeah, flashing into the enemy team is generally never a good idea.
Yeah.
so
Unless
the
you're Alistair.
blue team picked a good fight. If you look where that fight was, there's no wards for blue team and there's that pink from red. If you're fighting in and out of all those bushes and they have vision on you, like it's really hard to win a fight like that. That pink ward from red team is the MVP in that fight. Especially that pink ward, if Vayne had not like suicided, she had ulted in, it would have revealed her stealth. Which is good.
You
I
have
think
to
pinks
learn to.
around dragon when you're playing against Rengar or Vayne is good.
Honestly, the best thing they could have done at that point, once they saw the teleport, is just get out of there. Like they picked someone. There was no need to like drag out that engagement any further.
2-7-0. They really need to
Balls.
rush
Like,
Locket.
Yeah.
Like somebody needs Locket as soon as possible with this Victor and Zach.
Also, Cho'Gath, there is no reason for you to TP back up top lane. Your tower wasn't under any threat at all. And if you were going to TP anyway, you should TP onto your tower because it does give you a 1 minute reduction versus TPing onto a minion.
Yeah, I say that in BBC. People always say, like, I can't carry when I play tank or blah, blah, blah. Like, and solo queue, if you want to carry... I have some friends who play, like, Maokai and Sion and stuff. If you want to carry on a tank, you need to have good TPs. Like, in all of these games, I just don't see TPs bot lane. And that's kind of how you carry on a tank. Good TPs, good roam.
Yeah, that Sion can be really strong if he roams properly, but and so can Cho'Gath. The problem is
If you TP top, you can't do that.
yeah,
And they see you do it, so you lose the pressure. If they're calling it in chat or paying attention.
like people need to be rotating top, but for some reason mid and bot are really
Yeah, when you're playing support and your AD carries like freezing a lane or farming it like this, you don't need to help them. You're essentially doing nothing.
Yeah.
They don't need like you to hold their hand to CS. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when I play AD when the support's just standing next to me in a dead lane.
Yeah, I mean, Vayne's doing the right thing here and just trying to get some farm for herself because she can't impact the team fight until they, until they're in a good position. If she needs to get that, at least a blade.
the issue with them trying to get Vayne ahead at this point. Like Vayne is great and all, but the people that are gonna be diving the backline are really ahead, and that's gonna be the main issue. Even Victor can almost probably combo the Vayne from 100 to 0 with just his Q and E.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he just hits laser veins like out of the fight, he has so much AP. And Vayne catching up is good, but in all honesty, she didn't have tower pressure. Red team got way more gold from that, and like 5 waves isn't worth an hit in any world.
Yeah, so what blue team really needs to do to win is that they need to give Lissandra blue and try to wave clear as much as possible, while also having Cho'Gath and Vayne just farm the other side lanes, and just try to get as much items as possible, and hopefully they can carry through that.
Yeah. So we've been talking a lot about blue team. Let's talk. What has red team been doing right?
They're
Good
ward.
vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pointed that out on mid. Like, there's so many fights that have been in river and stuff, and you don't think about it unless you're playing. But like, if you ever think of that fight you play and somebody just walks into a bush and you can't see him anymore, it's like, like if you
Yeah,
use good vision in a scrimmage, is such a big deal.
That's denying you possibly a second of shooting an attack or a spell, and that can be huge. There's been so many times where I die and someone's at 35 health because I couldn't get that last auto because they jumped into a bush. And I've done it myself before, especially top lane. You run in and out of bushes in the middle of a fight while you have a ward in there, and people just get really confused.
Yeah, so if blue team wants to come back, I'm sorry we're talking about red, but they're all level 9. They need to do something about vision.
Yep. Yeah.
Either
Once you hit
upgrade
level
supers or
9.
yellows.
Yeah. I'm looking. Everyone except Vayne. Nah. Now everyone has enough to upgrade their trinkets.
Upgrading your trinket is a huge thing. It's basically a mini sightstone at this point. Upgrading your yellow.
Yeah, when you're ahead, vision is a big deal, and when you're behind, vision is a big deal. And in a close game, it's still a big deal, but it's a little less important. But yeah, this Jinx is just playing up.
Yeah. They lost way more than necessary.
At least Vayne flashed backwards.
It's a step in the right direction. And she did well playing more defensive that time.
Yeah.
Just it's a 38k, 39k to 25k.
Yeah, I think I think blue team just picked too much late game. Especially Cho'Gath, if you go Roa, he's kind of not as early game as like the CDR build I'm seeing in solo queue now.
But when you have such a late game team like them, you want to try to extend lane phase as much as possible. And they were just trying to make too many plays early game to compensate for that.
Yeah. You have to realize like the team comp you have and try to work off of it. When
The-
you're,
the-
yeah.
The one thing I see Lissandra doing though is she keeps trying to make plays, and there have been a few times where it cost her life dearly. There was a point where she ulted 1v3 into the Victor and ulted the Victor and got nothing out of it. Like I understand you want to try to get something to get back into the game, but you going in by yourself isn't gonna do that.
I really like Jinx. I think Q assist third is perfect here. Like, that's really impressive. Kudos. Because the only chance blue team really has to come back is like a silly tower diver, stacking their CC. And by getting that Q assist, you're almost removing a win condition. Or making it so you have to misplay really hard to die with Q assist and flash on Jinx. It is goodbye.
I will say that they have good objective control, and
Mikhail's. Once they have Mikhail's and Q assist, like this game is kind of, it's hard.
even now, it's gonna be really hard for them to come back unless they constantly pick off 1 or 2 people in the jungle for the next 20 minutes.
So Cho'Gath, like, you know that bush is kind of a bush that people cheese, or it's a bush that's commonly warded, or so on and so forth. If you have a skill to check the bush. Don't just like face tank it like that.
Yeah, like your Q. At least you can get close enough to allow you to ward without being locked up.
Did List blind pick first pick? Yeah, List blind pick first pick. It's not too bad though, because they picked Cho second, and Cho and Lips are both kind of mid and top at this point. Or I see a lot of Cho mid. I don't like the pickaxe second on Vayne. I think she should have just gotten 2 daggers.
Agreed. I've seen the way like Vayne builds usually alternate. If you're ahead, you usually go for
Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, you go Phantom Dancer, and then you generally build a damage item like IE. But if you're behind, usually you just stack attack speed. That's what I've seen, but I have no idea how to play Vayne, so.
Yeah, I have a general idea. Actually, I play decent. I play with a lot of good Vaynes. Usually it's Bork or BT or IE first, depending on the player. And PD's almost always second. The only reason you don't get PD second is if, for some reason, you need to buy Avarice early for like the gold at gen, and then you just build Shiv off Avarice. Or you have like exactly enough for Shiv when you be. But after that, you usually want to get third item last whisper or IE.
I will say that Tsunamic needs to kind of be less afraid to engage. They could have easily picked off 2 people right at the start of that fight, but he kind of looped around the back of his team for safety, I suppose. And here comes the Jinx cleanup.
They never had a chance.
Alright.
I don't like the twin third on Victor. I think he should have gotten a CDR item, or like Woodstaff, or Hourglass. I'm just not a big fan of Lichbane until it's like late game on the champions that really want it. Lissandra, please no BM. Negria. Isn't that rule number 1?
I don't see what he's doing. Cross chat
Look in
or
all
something?
chat.
Oh,
I'd like to thank bot lane. Is it supposed to be solo queue, man? Your bot lane's gonna feed. That's how it works.
Any lane you're not in apparently always feeds.
No, it's always bot. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta learn to deal with that sort of stuff. You know, learn to focus on what you're doing. That's the only thing you can really affect.
Yeah, I hate to like put somebody on blast like this, but if you get solo killed, don't call out bot lane. Like, I know bot lane did bad, but do not... Something...
Yeah.
What's the proverb? Do not throw stones in a glass house?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Do not flame bot lane when you get solo killed.
Like this is where
Well, it's what it let the first person without sin cast the first stone, whatever.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Yeah, like
you old people.
Yeah, let the first summoner without death cast the first flame.
Yeah.
Like what you have to understand is like in higher level play, solo kills aren't that common. Like that's why, especially when you watch LCS, people freak out, or at least used to freak out when Bjergsen would 1v1 someone, because generally you should understand the capacity of your champion and the enemy's champion to a point where you shouldn't be dying 1v1. Not to mention you have a flash, which should save you in most situations. While bot lane, the reason why I can agree with Horse Doctor in saying that bot lane usually feeds is because it's a lot harder to really say that, oh, you shouldn't die 2v2, because that's
Yeah, you rely on another person.
yeah, it's skill discrepancy between two people.
Alright,
That-
if blue team wants to fight,
Yeah.
they pick a fight in the next 35
That-
seconds.
That pick is what they've needed to do.
Yeah, they can't fight though right now.
This fight, even though it's bad and they don't want to fight, it's going to be better than any fight they're going to get in the next
Yeah.
10 minutes. Like, it's a bad fight, but it's a better fight. But we'll see. Leona ults up in a couple of seconds. I'd like to see them go for it on that.
I will
Yeah,
say
so-
though, they're being sieged, and enemies are clearly around their base. They shouldn't. Blue side shouldn't have wards placed that far out. It should be around the entrances to their what is it? What gates? I guess.
Yeah, on the gate.
Base gates. Like they need to have wards around there. They need to be able to know the position of the enemy at all times, so that if they ever get out of position, you can come back in a fight in your own base.
Alright, last was for a second on Vayne. No. It's not good.
Not to mention they only have one armor item. Well, two.
Yeah, blue team, if you pick a really late game comp, don't like crutch yourself too hard. If you go double Roa and late game, it's not like Cho or Lissandra have to build Roa either. You're just like banking too hard on like 6-item fantasy and making yourself like really weak early.
I agree. Yeah, good job from both teams though. I think
Yeah.
they played well.
How's that BM? It's bronze. Yeah,
Alright.
the Lissandra was, the chat was BM. I'm not gonna call it the Jinx overextending BM.
Okay, so guys, that was game one. We're gonna get game two set up here. The stream's gonna go down for just a minute. We'll be right back.